At the eastern tip of the Balkans there is a city. In antiquity it was called Mesembria, while today it is simply Nessebar. One of the oldest settlements in Europe lies on a little peninsula that cuts into the Black Sea. The only connection of the old city to the mainland is via a narrow isthmus. And exactly this miniature piece of land that lies on the other side of the isthmus is part of the world cultural heritage. Powerful castle walls, golden churches, cobblestone alleys, mysterious places, all that welcomes the tourists. On the mainland there lies the modern part of Nessebar, a splendid and luxurious sea resort, which is a downright enormous megalopolis of lights and entertainment. Every story ever told about this remarkable city starts from the old Nessebar. On this little piece of land, about half a kilometre in size, there is a remarkable gathering of layers from all sorts of civilizations. First, here settled the Thracians. The mythic chieftain Melsa gave the city its name. In different variations, it still bears it today. A millennium later, during the 6th century BC, it was colonized by Greek settlers. A couple of centuries forward, and it became part of the Roman Empire. The new rulers did not destroy the achievements of the Hellenic culture. On the contrary, the key ingredients of the livelihood of the residents, trade and seafaring, were developed even further. The zenith of Mesembria came with the shift of the imperial capital to nearby Constantinople. Impressive basilicas and painted churches replaced the temples of mythological gods, and Christianity became the symbol of the city for many centuries to come. After the Bulgarians came to these lands, Nessebar was at times under the Byzantine Empire and at times under the powerful medieval Bulgarian state. In the middle of the 15th century, as all of the cities in the Balkan region, Nessebar became part of the Ottoman Empire. Throughout the city there are still traces of the architecture from that period, most notably in the architecture of the Bulgarian National Revival period. The typical buildings with stone foundations, bay windows and a wooden second floor gave the city its unique appearance even today. Today, the houses of Nessebar leave a lasting impression in the hearts of all who visit this fabulous city by the sea. On the other side of the peninsula, Nessebar is completely different, and that is just an understatement. Crazy, colourful, fun, beautiful, modern, all those are a tiny part of the never-ending epithets of this city. The luxurious hotels, arranged in a theatrical fashion along the sea coast, offer their visitors a front-row view of the beautiful sunrise that outlines the ancient buildings of the old city. The bars and restaurants, non-stop shops and emotions all give the tourist materialized memories of the triumph of the spirit named Nessebar.
I know we can live forever. We got the voice of the melody. We got the choice of the harmony. I know we can live together.
There is quite a bit you could say about the endless rhythm of the city, but the spirit of adventure named Nessebar is hidden on the other side of the peninsula, beyond the isthmus. The little alleyways lead the tourists to the castle walls of the ancient city, and there is much to see beyond them. 11 of the 40 temples that stood on the peninsula have been preserved until the present day. Part of them is in ruins, while others have been reconstructed in museums and galleries, and there is even one that still functions as a Christian church. Undoubtedly, the most impressive from all of them is the old bishopric cathedral. The powerful form of the Byzantine basilica, constructed in the 6th century, dominates the city's centre even today. Next to it are the painters that remake the romance on canvas, the traders, a symbol of the city since its establishment, and the architectural standard, Nessebar's houses. This is also the beginning of the narrow alleys, reminiscent of vital veins through which the guests of the city move along the millennia of history, randomly scattered along the narrow lanes. Any experienced tourists should not miss a triad of other churches: Christ Pantocrator, St. Stephen, John the Baptist. Every single one of them is so uniquely distinctive that you should just see them all. Submerge yourself into the beauty of the medieval Christian civilization. The inspiration that created these masterpieces is really astonishing. Breathtaking frescoes, inlaid motifs, impressive architecture, and splendid decoration, all made by the hands of unknown craftsmen. It is like going on a journey through times long since past, times of empires and kings filled with honour and the scent of the sea. Certainly, the old city is not all about architecture. Ever since antiquity, the port has also been a warehouse of all kinds of goods and an important part of the trade route for all commodities transported through the Danube River and the Black Sea. That tradition stays alive even today, as there are many small shops for embroidery, handmade souvenirs, cafes and various restaurants, all placed around the narrow alleys and seaside walkways, just for the enjoyment of the numerous tourists. A summer cocktail, a walk along one of the many little lanes of the old city, a morning coffee, or an exquisite dinner with a glass of wine in one of the panoramic restaurants. The number of choices is impressive indeed. The boats are also here. Today the galleys and triremes are replaced by modern ships, cruise boats and extravagant yachts. In fact, the city has 3 harbours. The biggest of them is full of ships from all over the world, including huge ocean liners for thousands of passengers, the most recent guests of the island who will take home wonderful memories of its mysteries. Both in the past and in present times, the sea has been and will remain the absolutely vital part of life in this city. Presumably, the most cliched thing that you could say about Nessebar is that it is an open museum. However, this is a fact. All the ancient ruins, medieval churches, paved alleyways, monuments, houses, courtyards, towers and walls, all touched by the hands of destiny and survived the hardships of time and various circumstances, are like a gift for the tourists. The hard task for tourists is how to capture these views, with a camera, through knowledge or experience, or simply by touching an ancient stone. Nessebar is more like a magical and timeless feeling than a resort. It does not matter if you're walking around the streets of the old city, drinking a morning coffee in the hotel, or eating tasty sea delicacies in the old houses. The enigmatic spirit of the past seems as though it does not want to leave this place. Millennia ago, Mesembria was one of the most important cities in southeastern Europe. The former Greek polis is far richer, more inspiring, intensive and stylish than ever before. Perhaps that is why it attracts tourists from all over the world who are ready to enrich their adventurous experiences. At night, Nessebar is a completely different story. Romance takes over the streets. The lights dance playfully among the street lamps and facades of the restaurants and stylish hotels. The old city slowly starts to fall asleep, while a happy symphony of cheers and laughter starts to rise from the taverns scattered throughout the old houses. And there is no other way. When you are a kilometre away from the mainland and there is only beauty and history around you, you just have to enjoy them. So, while the night takes over the peninsula, across the isthmus, the party is just about to begin. All the imposing discos, nightclubs and glamorous restaurants help you shorten the already short summer nights. And on top of that, with enormous enjoyment. Here, the night party is everywhere. In the morning, it is time to go to the beach again. When the night leaves, the twilight makes room for the sun, and tourists can dive in all the pleasurable experiences of the beach. And there are many of those around the city, the most famous of which is the Sunny Coast. A wide lane connects Nessebar and the 8-kilometre beach area full of fine golden sand. There is place for everyone, and the entertainment is more than enough for tourists of all nationalities, ages and interests. When combined, Sunny Beach and Nessebar form a real touristic megapolis. Sunny Beach is a remarkable complex. It is huge, breathtaking and lively. 100% emotion, the biggest resort in Eastern Europe offers its guests an astounding amount of sunlight 2,400 hours annually. No matter the praises, it will always outshine them. Its innumerable hotels, restaurants, bars, casinos, shops and attractions allure millions of visitors every year. Sunny Beach is a challenging temptation for people of all ages. Here, the heart of the Bulgarian tourist industry beats 24/7 to the rhythm of a fast clock. Beach and sun, rickshaws and mini-trains, parachutes and horse riding, an ultra-modern stadium and countless attractions. This mind-twisting fiesta does not stop even for a moment. To the north of Sunny Beach, in the foothills of the Balkan mountain range, lies one of the oldest villages in the region. Sveti Vlas, Saint Vlas, was once a little fishing village with 4 monasteries. They have long since crumbled under the weight of time, and where once they stood now stands a real city, a real Saint-Tropez look-alike. Low hotels, private villas and an imposing yacht harbour. In fact, one of the best in South Europe.
Both know that it is wrong, but I tell you, it smells so strong.
Sveti Vlas stands on the wide open area between the beach and the slopes of the Balkan mountain range. Exactly because of that specific location that combines clean mountain air, sea climate and beautiful nature, the city expands irresistibly. And yet, the heart of nature lies to the north. Always to the north, by the steep sea coast, is located the final chord of the longest mountain range in southeastern Europe, Cape Emine. Close to its steep hills is situated the virgin paradise of Irakli Beach. This little piece of supernatural harmony between sand and sea is hidden from the big roads and stands as if untouched